Hello.
Did you say hello?
No, I said hello, but that's close enough.
So Greta Gerwig's Barbie came out this week and it's currently making all of the money, which I'm really glad about because it's a great movie. But I saw a lot of people online asking, but what about the children? So Barbie is rated PG-13. So some people are saying you shouldn't take your kids to see this movie because there's adult humor and, you know, lots of pink. It's possible they might be corrupted by all of the pink. And that's got a lot of people online asking, should I take my kids to see PG-13 movies? What is and isn't appropriate for kids? Luckily, I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about that at all. But if I did have kids and they wanted to go see Barbie, I would be completely fine with it. I mean, I don't think there's anything in it that's gonna emotionally scar them. Which got me thinking, what are some of the movies as a kid that
emotionally scarred me?
Now, I grew up watching movies from the 80s and 90s, and you've probably heard this before or aware of this, but movies made for kids, and especially the 80s, were super hardcore. Now, I'm not going to get into why some people say, oh, we're so much more sensitive nowadays, but really I think it's because more people in the 80s were doing way more cocaine.
I like it.
I mean, how else do you explain this? Oh my god. Now, I generally think that kids can handle a lot more than we usually give them credit for. As a kid, I was drawn to spooky stuff. Halloween was my favorite time of year. But a lot of these movies I saw when my little brain was still forming, the world was new and sometimes confusing to me. And a lot of stuff I saw, even as a 3-year-old, I don't know if you could really go through without definitely having to visit therapy as an adult. So I'm going to talk about some of the movies I saw as a child that terrified me. And it's debatable whether or not they should be shown to anybody. So the first movie I remember really giving me nightmares as a kid is one that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to being freaked out by. That's right, I'm talking about the sick film, the Care Bears movie. They showed this thing to kids, the monsters. But Kris, the Care Bears movie, it's gotta be the most happiest, shiniest, child-friendly movie ever made. Then why did they put this nightmare fuel in it? Okay, I haven't seen this movie since I was probably 3 years old, but from what I can remember, this evil face in a book, the original evil face book. This evil book ends up tricking this little kid who just wants to be a magician to, I don't know, do some like evil bidding or something. I don't know. Ruin the Care Bears day and make everyone sad. I genuinely have no idea what the Care Bears even did. They brought happiness to people? I sure could use a Care Bear these days. But for me, all they brought was the earliest memories I have of having nightmares. From that point on, if they ever tried to play this movie at preschool, I would immediately start crying, which is a great trick, and it's what I do now if I ever don't get my way. It's actually quite effective. I would cry when they would try to play this movie, or when they would try to play this other movie featuring this talking, singing songbook named Salty. Salty spelled like psalm, I guess. It was a church thing. I don't know.
We can drive over to the old church and have a sing-along there.
We can even sing along the way.
All I know is it really freaked me out. I guess I was just afraid of books, which is why I never learned to read. Another movie that a lot of people were probably afraid of as a kid was The Never-Ending Story. And good reason. There's a lot of scary stuff in this movie.
Look at what you see.
Some people were even afraid of Falcor, the flying luck dragon. But I wasn't, because he was just a little cute flying dog. Though as an adult, there's something about him that just doesn't sit right with me.
I like children.
Personally, now, I think this movie rules. There's a dark, tactile fantasy aspect of this movie that I just find very, very comforting in a weird way. But the scene that freaked me out as a kid wasn't the one with the bloodthirsty wolf that gets stabbed. Jeez. But it was this scene when the little girl princess breaks the fourth wall and starts talking to the kid reading the book. What did you call me? I don't know if it's the idea of reading a book and the book starts to like respond to you and talk to you while you're reading it. I don't like that. Or the way this actress just stares down the barrel of the lens, pleading for the kid to give her a name. And she's crying and she's pleading for her life, and it's just unnerving. Way too intense for my little brain. I'm just now realizing this is yet again another book-related thing in a movie that scared me. And I don't know what to say. Books are just terrifying, and you should probably just stay away from them. Another movie I saw at a young age was The Wizard of Oz. Now, a lot of kids might be scared of this movie because of the Wicked Witch, or the totally normal flying monkeys, or the scary tornado that's only scary to kids who grew up in the Midwest, where we have an actual tornado season. But oh no, not me. I loved this movie growing up, and also my dog's head is now in the frame. So imagine my excitement when I found out that they made a sequel. Oh boy, I can't wait to see the continuing adventures of Dorothy and all of her friends. Oh my god! Come here. What the hell is that? Apparently, in the 80s, before Disney started printing money, they thought that the way to reach audiences was to make horror movies for kids. And honestly, most of these movies rule. Return to Oz is like if Sam Raimi decided to make a sequel to The Wizard of Oz. But when I was a kid, it was way too intense for me. And I would actively avoid this movie whenever it would come on the Disney Channel. That's right, they played this on the Disney Channel.
You're watching Disney Channel.
For the kids. Apparently, though, the last time this aired on the Disney Channel was in 2000, and they didn't dare show this at an hour when the kids were actually awake. I even had a storybook version of this movie, and I even refused to look at that.
Scary books again.
But I love that now this movie is on Disney Plus, where any kid can just stumble upon it and get instant nightmares. When I was a youngin', my parents, I'm sure like most, assured me that monsters weren't real. The scary things I saw on TV, witches, goblins, ghosts, those were just made up for the television. Those don't exist in reality. But here's the thing. I was also raised in a pretty religious household. So, are monsters real? No. Are ghosts real? No. Is the devil real? Yes. And hell is real too. And bad people go there.
When they die.
Oh my god. So yeah, that added a little extra trauma for the first time I saw All Dogs Go to Heaven. A haunting, disturbing film about a dog named Charlie, who in the first 15 minutes is murdered by another dog. Charlie goes to heaven because that's the title of the movie, but then tricks heaven and goes back to Earth, before being told that if he does go back to Earth, he can never come back. And he's told this in the most haunting way possible. Charlie, at one point, has a dream that he dies again and goes to hell. Yeah. And it is the most messed up thing. Like Don Bluth, I'm sorry, but a lot of kids grow up being told that hell and the devil are real. Now, I'm not going to go into whether or not that's a good thing, but to use that as a scary sequence in your movie that's aimed at kids, it's kind of messed up. I'm all about movies for kids that have, mature themes and, maybe some scary stuff in there. That's just a part of culture, and it's good for them to experience that sometimes.
Whoa, that's scary stuff. Hey, should we be worried about the kids in the audience?
No, it's all right. This is culture.
Oh.
But by God, there's a line, and this movie crossed the line. It crossed it so far. So that's the source of my childhood trauma. Let me know yours in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that eventually I can make more videos and, quit my day job. I can just sit in my living room and make videos like this all day long and sweat it out. Because I had to turn my AC off for the video and, oh my god, it's so hot. Okay, I'm gonna go turn my air conditioning back on. You guys have a great day.
Oh, me? Nah, I'm just a worm.